In the late 16th century, a bold dream of English settlement in the New World vanished without a trace. The Roanoke colony, a beacon of hope, simply disappeared, leaving behind one of history's most baffling and enduring mysteries. England, fueled by ambition and rivalry with Spain, sought its own foothold across the Atlantic. Sir Walter Raleigh, a favorite of Queen Elizabeth I, championed the cause, dreaming of a vast colonial empire. Raleigh's initial expeditions, starting in 1584, explored the outer banks of present-day North Carolina. They brought back promising reports of fertile lands and rich resources, encouraging further efforts to settle. In 1585, the first attempt at a military colony, led by Ralph Lane, arrived at Roanoke Island. 100 men established a fort, hoping to secure England's claim and explore the interior. Life was harsh. Supplies dwindled, and relations with the local Algonquian tribes quickly deteriorated into hostility. The colonists struggled with unfamiliar terrain, disease, and constant fear. Just as their situation became dire, Sir Francis Drake's fleet, returning from a raid on Spanish colonies, unexpectedly arrived. The starving colonists, disheartened, seized the opportunity to abandon the settlement. Undeterred by the first failure, Raleigh planned a new venture. This time, the focus was on a permanent agricultural colony, city of Raleigh, comprising families and craftsmen, led by Governor John White. In May 1587, 117 men, women, and children embarked on a perilous journey across the Atlantic. Their destination was the Chesapeake Bay, but unforeseen circumstances would force them back to Roanoke. Upon arrival, the pilot refused to sail further north. The colonists found the previous fort abandoned and dilapidated, a grim reminder of past struggles, forcing them to rebuild on the same troubled ground. Despite the initial setback, the colonists began to build their new lives. They constructed homes, planted crops, and tried to establish a self-sufficient community, hoping for a peaceful future in the wilderness. Attempts to mend relations with local tribes proved difficult. The earlier conflicts had left deep scars, and soon, skirmishes erupted again, reminding the settlers of their isolated and vulnerable position. Amidst the hardships, a moment of profound hope arrived. On August 18, 1587, Virginia Dare was born, the first English child in the New World, a symbol of the colony's potential for permanence. As winter approached, the colony's supplies dwindled alarmingly. They desperately needed more provisions, tools, and reinforcements from England to survive the unforgiving environment and growing native hostility. The colonists implored Governor John White to return to England for supplies. Reluctantly, he left his daughter and granddaughter, promising to return quickly, unaware of the immense challenges ahead. White's return coincided with the looming threat of the Spanish Armada. Every available English ship was pressed into service for defense, making any voyage back to Roanoke impossible for over 2 years. For years, White tirelessly sought a ship, his heart heavy with worry for his family. Each failed attempt to secure passage was a crushing blow, as precious time slipped away for the isolated colony. Finally, in August 1590, White secured passage on a privateering expedition. 3 long years had passed, and anxiety mounted as his ship neared the shores of Roanoke, hoping for any sign of life. The scene was desolate. The fort was dismantled, the houses gone, replaced by a palisade. There were no signs of struggle, no bodies, just an unsettling silence that spoke of an empty, abandoned place. Then, a clue, carved into a post was the single word, Croton. This was the name of a friendly Native American island, and the agreed-upon signal if the colonists had moved voluntarily. Nearby, on a tree, the letters CRO were also found. These clues suggested a planned relocation, perhaps to Croton Island, now known as Hatteras, where friendly natives resided. Crucially, the agreed-upon distress signal, a cross carved above the message, was absent. This indicated that the colonists had not been forced to leave, reinforcing the idea of a voluntary relocation. White desperately wanted to sail to Croton, but a series of violent storms and dwindling provisions prevented it. The treacherous shoals and fierce weather made further search impossible. Heartbroken and defeated, John White was forced to leave. He never saw his daughter or granddaughter again, and the fate of the Roanoke colonists remained forever shrouded in the mists of the Outer Banks. Over centuries, theories have proliferated: assimilation with Native Americans, disease, starvation, or massacre. Without conclusive evidence, the lost colony remains an enduring symbol of colonial peril and historical enigma. The sands of time have buried many secrets, but the story of Roanoke continues to captivate, a poignant reminder of humanity's relentless quest for new horizons, and the mysteries that sometimes remain unsolved.